Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we're going to have David. David is from Budapest in Hungary. So let's see what David has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Right.
So hello David, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. What about you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Of course. So tell me, how was your day today?
It was really good actually. I did nothing special. I'm on a leave today from work, so I used the opportunity to rest some,
Uh-huh.
and we went to a new Mexican restaurant. We tried it, so it's really nice. That
Amazing.
was all.
What do you do for work, for living?
I'm working for a bio. Sorry, I'm not fluent in English.
Okay, me neither.
Biotechnical company.
Uh-huh.
They are producing equipments for laboratories and different kind of machines, for blood testing, for example, or ovens, incubators, all that kind of stuff. We are in every laboratory.
Amazing. Tell me where you're from, David.
I'm from Hungary and currently I'm living in Budapest. I moved here in 2015 from Miskolc. It's an industrial city in the northern part of Hungary. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So tell me, what's the biggest joy of living in Budapest, in your opinion?
Everything. It's a really good city. Actually, people are really friendly here. It has a really wide cultural, how can I say, life, or a big cultural life. There's many opportunities here, also working opportunities and study opportunities as well. So yeah.
It's amazing. And all your family are back in your hometown?
Yes, indeed.
And how far are you from your hometown, Budapest?
Like 2 hours with
Let's
train.
see. So tell me, if I would come to Budapest for the very first time, tell me a place that I shouldn't miss it. What's the postcard of the city?
Oh, that's a good question because I believe Budapest has many beautiful points, but I would highlight the Buda Castle. I think that has a really nice landscape, or the building of the parliament in Budapest near the Danube is it's a neo-Gothic building. It's just amazing, I think.
Wow. And you see yourself living there for a long while?
Yes, I'm planning to live here for so long.
Amazing. Okay, David, so before we start our journey within the magic box, so would you like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I mean, what can be interesting about me? Well, I really don't know. I mean, I think I'm just a basic guy, you know. I don't have any kind of special talent or anything, so
For
um,
example, when I was checking your profile, I could see you wearing a lot of leather. Yes, so that's very interesting. So tell me a little bit about this fascination with leather.
yeah, that's a good point. Yes, I like this kind of Leatherman look for a long time. I fell in love with it where I was only 16. I studied art and I started to discover LGBTQ artists, and I found Tom of Finland, of course. I think most of the Leatherman starts with him,
Uh-huh.
and I absolutely fell in love with his absolutely masculine art style and with this dressing style as well. But I was really afraid to start dressing like this. Although I was always into extreme fashion, still I thought this is not for me. It's not for my type of guys. It's for more masculine and hunky guys. But about like 4 or 5 years, I just felt that it doesn't matter. I should dress like this and I should discover this part of the gay community.
Amazing. I was checking your profile, your pictures, and I liked them. I said, oh, it's sweet seeing very well the leather, the way you pose for the pictures. I can see the connection there.
Thank you.
Amazing. David, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey for your memories in life and share your point of views?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sorry.
It's okay, not a problem. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Right.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the interview, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, you don't want to talk about, always can change, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Amazing. First question is, tell us a fun or a memorable moment tell us a funny story or a moment that happened to you when you were a child at school.
When I was cheated, well, I tried to write everything on a small paper and attach it on the sole of my shoe, and I attached it too early. So as I walked on it, it becomes dirty, and I was barely able to read the whole thing. And the teacher noticed it, of course.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that was a bit embarrassing, but I learned from it.
Did you like school growing up?
To be honest, not really.
Why is
Because
that?
I was bullied at school, and there was no one really to protect me or help me to stand on my own legs and be strong enough to deal with it. So that's why I don't really like it. I like learning new things. I like studying itself, but because of that, I have really bad memories from school.
And did you have like a favorite teacher at the time or not?
Favorite teacher? Yes, I had my art teacher. He was really nice, actually. He inspired me to study on this part.
See. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, David. Next question is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they start a relationship?
Well, I think it's really important to know of each other, what are their goals, their dreams in life, and how they can reach it together. Because if they are not on the same track and they are pulling each other back, that's not gonna work, in my opinion.
I see. Well, let's check your profile. I believe you're in a relationship right now. You're a married guy.
Yes, technically, yes, but in Hungary it's not called as a marriage, it's called as a registered partnership.
I see.
But that's too long to write in my bio.
Of course. And tell me, how did your path cross for the first time, you and your partner?
Well, it's not a really romantic meeting. We met on Romeo,
Okay.
and to be honest, I absolutely fell in love with him from the first meeting because I saw that he really has his plans. He was really, how can I say, put his life together and his goals together, and that was really inspiring for me. And I saw he has goals, he have plans, and yeah.
And he's from Budapest?
Yes, indeed, he also lives. We live together, actually. It's a
Amazing.
funny story because we moved together after the first date.
Really? Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yes, it was not planned. I lived in an apartment and I wanted to leave. And he had a car back then, and I asked him, could you help me with my stuff maybe? And he offered to move to his place. And I was like, no way, we don't even know each other.
Oh my
And
God.
later on, he explained me, if I move to another place and we get together and decide to move together, then I have to move to him. So he told me he wants to save time for me and money with the movings, and I was like, okay, I will get to know him if I start to live with him, and if it's not working, I will move away. And maybe it was not how can I say, an extreme decision, and I wouldn't
Hmm.
recommend for everyone, but for
Yeah.
me it's worth. It's really worth
Wow.
because we are together for 10 years now.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh
Yeah.
wow. He knew what he wanted. I like that. He got his attitude. I love it. You know what I mean? He was very practical. I love that. It's a big risk, you know what I mean? It was a big risk. My God.
Indeed,
However,
indeed. And I'm not used to recommend to everyone because these days you don't know who you are dating with,
yeah.
but for me it's worked.
Yeah, I believe that, there are no rules. Sometimes can happen, you know what I mean? You're a big example that those situation can happen. It's not very often to happen because, as you said, you don't know everyone very well. However, there are no rules. You never know, you know what I mean? It's like a lottery. If it
Yeah,
happens, well,
indeed. Indeed. Well, with him, I won the lottery for sure.
okay, so he's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message. What would you say? He's watching. You can say Hungarian if you'd like to, and after you can translate in English.
Oh no, I will try to say it in English.
Okay.
Well, I'm really grateful for him because he's always here for me, even on my hardest. He
Hmm.
he has he's really protecting, and I also really appreciate that. I know it
Oh,
sounds like a cliche, but that's really true from him, and I really appreciate that because even some of my family members were not here when I did them. So
beautiful. Tell me what's the biggest difference between you and him and the biggest similarity?
um, I'm trying to express this in English. You know, he says everything in the house has its own place.
Hmm.
And I like to change that, like putting things to different places, and he is absolutely going to mad because of that. So I am less practical than him. He's
Right.
more practical. I'm more spontaneous than him.
I see.
He prefers planning things, and sometimes I'm just like, oh, go somewhere and we will find where we found ourselves, but he's not like that.
Right. And the biggest similarity.
Biggest similarity, we have the same view of how things working in the world, and I think that's really important because even small misunderstandings or different views can cause big problems, and we do not have that here, like really.
And he's into leather as well?
No, he's absolutely not, but he's supporting me in that.
Sweet, very sweet. That's what I think love is. Even if you don't, you just accept the other person, what they like, the way they are. I think that's the real love for sure. That's how I see it. Beautiful.
Yeah, indeed.
Next question. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, tell me, as you mentioned before about school, that you were bullied at school, it wasn't very
Mhm.
easy. I believe that it was because of your sexuality, yeah? Because you're a gay boy. Was it because of
Yes,
that?
yes, indeed. And back in the time, I was thin. I was not really boyish. I don't really understand in. I'm. I was not interested in playing boyish games like football or any kind of sports. I prefer to play with the girls and playing with Barbie dolls and stuff like that. And of course, the other boys, I noticed that. And because I was different, they started to bully me.
I see. And how do you see, how is being gay in Budapest? Do you think that you can be your truly self? Sometimes can be a bit difficult, or do you see that nowadays, as in a big city like Budapest, you can express the way you are? The gay scene is very welcoming. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, yes, we do not really have many LGBTQ friendly places to go. That's
Mhm.
true. But in general, people are really open and accepting, especially in Budapest. In my hometown, they are not really. It's
Mhm.
a poor city. They are not well educated, and I don't want to bring in the work of the governments, but they are not the most LGBTQ friendly government in Europe, and
I
we can feel that. But returning to Budapest, indeed, it's more welcoming than any other Hungarian cities. I never been attacked here. I received some comments when I walked on the street with my rainbow bag, but that's all. That's the biggest attack I received. So
What's your favorite gay place in Budapest?
I do not really have. It's not a gay place. It's called Goya. It's kind of like a big rain bar, but
Okay.
they used to hold drag shows there.
Okay.
And they are amazing because in Hungary we have really amazing drag performers. So we
Wow.
used to go there and watching their shows, drinking a few cocktails, things like that.
And they have leather bar as well that you can go with your leather, express yourself, or it can be different.
Unfortunately not. The leather community is really small in Hungary. In Budapest we have a few, but I'm friends with like two people from these few from these few people, and we have a bar where leather guys can go, but it's more like a fetish and sex-oriented club, and I'm not really into that part. I'm more interested in dressing like this. So that bar is too extreme for me.
I see. Okay. Next question is, what are the top 3 things on your bucket list?
I would say the first one is being a father. Since I'm small, I always wanted a family and wanted kids,
Wow.
or at least one kid. And of course, as I grow up, I realized that it will be difficult as a gay person, but especially here in Hungary, now in the past 10 years, LGBTQ people more and more getting more and more restricted. So that's the first one.
Okay.
We will see. The second one is to travel more because we do not really have the opportunity to travel, and I would like to discover more cultures and countries as well.
Okay.
The third thing is I wish I could have more time for my loved ones.
I see. So between those 3, which one do you think is going to happen first? That you're going to, be able to spend more time with loved ones, you're going to maybe have a child, or maybe you're going to travel more? Which one do you think is going to happen first between those 3?
I think the third one, to spend more time
Wow.
with my family and my partner.
And if you could go anywhere in the world, like you're going to travel, you can go anywhere right now, where would you go and why?
That's a good one because I would really like to know the Middle East, for example, but the situation there for LGBTQ people is also not the easiest one. But yeah, that's what I would like to discover because I think it has a really interesting culture with really deep roots from Egypt to Iran. It could be nice to discover.
I see.
Maybe one day, who knows?
For sure, of course. Next question, let's do it. Okay, David, next question is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
There was a few. That's why I'm thinking.
Do you consider yourself to be a romantic person yourself?
I'm trying to be more romantic
Okay.
because my partner used to tell me that sometimes I'm a bit cold because I'm not kind of a guy who goes there and hugs you and gives you kisses. I don't know why. I was always like this, but I would say in general, receiving small compliments or small gifts. And I used to get small gifts from my partner. I'm not telling him to do it, but sometimes he surprises me with for example, just a flower or something like that, and that can be really good.
saying that, when you think about yourself, when you think about David, what the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being David?
I think is that I learned how to trust, respect, and love myself because I believe if people don't do that, it's harder for them to reach their goals and their dreams.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about always putting myself on the first place. That's not. But sorry, I have to think through
Okay,
the whole
it's
thing.
okay.
Um,
I get your point. I think you need to love yourself first, more than anybody else. You know what I mean? Because if you don't love yourself first, how are you gonna love others? I get you.
yes, indeed. And we need to trust ourselves that yes, I can do it, I will do it. And maybe it sounds like a cliche, but that's what I think. And unfortunately, people used to forget these three things, even me. Sometimes I need to remind myself not to be too harsh with myself, give myself time to solve things.
Yes.
Mm,
It's very important to be kind to ourselves, for sure.
yes,
Sometimes,
indeed.
sometimes we need to look in the mirror and go like, you know what? You're doing well. You know what I mean? You're doing very well.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm talking about. And I think that needs to be learned and can be
yeah,
developed because it was not like that
trust me.
with
Yeah,
us.
absolutely. And once you start doing it, it become natural. At one point, you're gonna be like, give yourself this credit. You're gonna help. You're gonna be like, It's funny because once I was going to work a few years ago, and I was going to take the tube, the metro, and there were like a phrase there written there. Smile smile when you look in the mirror in the morning. Smile to yourself, and your life is gonna be better. Since that day, when I read that, sometimes when I'm brushing my teeth, when I'm doing in the morning, I look myself and I smile, like just to give a little smile. Trust me, it gives you this good vibe. You start a good day. So it's the same. It's about appreciating you. It's about starting your day. It's a positivity, and I love that. It's so simple, and sometimes can give a big impact in your life. Sometimes, so look in the mirror, look like, giving credit to yourself or smiling to yourself. I think it's a way of you to love yourself and see that you are doing well, because sometimes we forget.
Yeah, absolutely. And since I learned this, I'm more nicer to other people as well. That's what I've noticed about myself. Even they are grumpy or anything, I'm keep being nice to them because
It's
it's
not their
better for
fault.
me actually.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not their fault that you're having a bad day. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not their fault. It's just
Yeah,
happening.
absolutely.
I get that. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Hey, David, next question for you is, tell us about your first kiss and your first love.
It was when I was 16, actually, when I started to discover that I'm gay. And
Uh-huh.
it happened with my very first boyfriend. We were not together for long, but
Uh-huh.
it was a really chaotic relationship. Anyway, my first kiss was with him, and we were on the top of his building. He lived in a flat in like a big block house we have in Eastern Europe,
Uh-huh.
and we were on the top of that, admiring the view, and that's when it happened. And it felt really, I felt really free and strong. So it was a good
Wow.
experience actually.
Oh, wow. And he was your first love as well?
He was my first boyfriend. My first love was from high school, one of
Right.
my classmates, but
Uh-huh.
he was heterosexual. So
Oh, it happens
yeah,
sometimes.
the worst
It,
thing can happen,
I
falling in
know.
love with a heterosexual man.
I had as well growing up, like back in school. I remember, seeing sometimes those boys, and they look so nice, and they were so nice, and I was like, oh, I want to have he as a boyfriend, but they were not gay. So for me, it was like, oh,
Yeah. And I also told him about my feelings, and he kind of rejected me. So yeah, that was not really good at that time, but I was really young.
But it's good that you tried at least. If you didn't try, you didn't know. Imagine if he say, "Oh my God, that's amazing. I like you as well." Imagine.
Yeah.
Tell me something, David. So growing up, tell me the moment when you realized that you're gay. For you, it was something like you realized very quick, or for you, it took a little bit of time.
Hmm. It started really early, actually. I remember when I was in kindergarten, there was a guy called Christian. We were really good friends, and we always played together. We imagined to live together in the same house with our families. I'm not really realized that maybe I like, okay, I'm not loved him, but loved him more. But when I realized that I'm gay was when I was like 13,
I
around
see.
13. Yeah,
I see. Okay.
that's when I started to discover my feelings. Yeah,
Yeah, I think for me as well was around the same time as well. I think that's when you start your puberty. You know what I mean? And
yeah, yeah.
that's when I realized that. I remember when I was around this age, I was playing volleyball, and I was playing volleyball with some friends from school, and sometimes we were traveling like small cities around, and sometimes I remember like we were playing volleyball, and suddenly we were having showers all together, like in a big thing. And I remember looking at them, and I had this, this feeling inside like my chest. And I was like, why do I feel that when I see them? You know what I mean? For me, it was like
Yes,
I could understand much because you don't understand. And I was like, my God, I feel this burning. Well, I felt like burning. Something was burning in my chest, like something burning. And I didn't understand because I didn't know much about sex or about attraction. I just felt different. I just felt nice. It was a good feeling. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I just couldn't
I get that.
understand why. So I get your point. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, tell me what's the meaning of life for you?
Oh, I'm not prepared for that. Um, the meaning of life. Well, let me think about it.
Sure, of
Cut this
course.
one out, please.
Of course, not a problem.
Well, for myself, the meaning of life is about creating, like even creating connection with people, but
Mhm.
or creating art or anything, doing something, making the life of yourself and the ones around you. Sorry. So making your life and the life of the ones living near you better.
Mhm.
So
Tell me a
just
life.
living better, I say. Sorry.
Tell me a life lesson that life has taught you that you feel very grateful for life. Tell me something that you've learned through life that you're very grateful.
I would say everything what can happen will happen. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's really true. And again, it might sound like a cliche, but
No?
it's absolutely true. And we have to be strong and we have to be prepared for everything, even the unexpected.
Totally. And I believe whatever meant to be for you, it find a way to get to you. You know what I mean? Sometimes,
Yeah,
you need to go after your dreams. You need to work hard. You need to go after. However, you need to believe that whatever it will happen for you. It will come to you. And that's what I believe as well. Beautiful. Hey, next question is, what has been the happiest point of your life so far and why?
actually, when I realized that I'm good on my own. I mean, when I was a kid, I always got from my parents that why I'm not playing with the boys, why I'm not doing sports, why I am so thin, why I am so girly, and that's really affected me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I need to learn and realize that these things don't matter, and I can overgrown from these, and I can develop myself, I can be better, but I'm definitely not bad.
Totally. That's so powerful. What you just said now, David. Very powerful. I totally believe that. Question for you. Knowing the person you are today, yeah, knowing yourself, if you have the superpower of erasing that time of your life where you're having these problems, like your parents were saying that you're not enough, you're not, why you are like that, this and that. If you could take this out of your life, would you do it, or would you keep it knowing the person you are today?
No, I would definitely keep it. I know it sounds like bad, or I don't know. Yeah, I could wish a better childhood for myself because it was wrong due to, not wrong, but difficult. Let's say it was difficult due to different circumstances,
Yeah,
but I learned a lot from that, I would
for
say.
sure, for sure. And the opposite, when you think about your childhood memories, tell me what was the best part of it? What's what comes to your mind like a happy memory when you think about your childhood memories?
The summers I spent with my grandmother from my
Oh,
mother's side because I really loved her. She was
oh,
a bit tough and like she was not like that classic grandma sitting in an armchair knitting something, but she was a really warm-hearted person. She was
oh,
really strong and independent on her own. She was really inspirational for me, actually. So though I miss those summers.
oh. What was her name?
Ilona,
Ilona. Oh, do you think one day you're gonna meet her again?
maybe. Who knows?
Okay. Amazing. Last question, ready? How do I say last question in Hungarian?
Utolsó kérdés.
Dojo kérdés.
Perfect.
Amazing. Let's do it. Last question. But before the last question, you mentioned about, a few times the interview about arts, your connection with arts. So tell me a little bit why. Why do you have this connection with arts?
Okay, so I really liked drawing back in elementary school. So my mom told me that I should continue, and also my art teacher told me to continue drawing. So I went to a graphic designer, but somehow I do not really like it. So I changed in school to textile designing, and that's where I fall in love with fashion designing actually.
Wow.
And when I moved to Budapest to finish my studies, I finished with a fashion designer degree. But to be honest, I felt that I do not really have the talent, the
Mhm,
connections, and the money to start my own business or work with a big designer.
mhm.
And I made like a pause in this for 10 years. And recently I returned to it because as I started to be friends with some drag queens, they told me that, oh, we will need some new dresses, but the ones we order not really fit or not what they expect, or they just cannot find what they want. And I was like, okay, why not? I should start again. So yeah, recently I already made 2 dresses to
Wow.
2 queens. So yeah, and I'm planning to do even more.
That's amazing, David. I love this story that you had like a break for some reason, and
Yes, for 10 years.
yeah, amazing. And I think it's amazing for you. Maybe you're not ready at the time. You know what I mean? Now you're more mature. Understand a bit more about yourself as well and about your talent. So why not? I love that. Wow.
Thank you.
Tell me talking about leather, which outfits of leather is your favorite? Like a jacket, a trousers, I see those guys with leather, I'm like, wow, that looks amazing. For you, what is your favorite outfit part of leather?
Well, a biker jacket for sure. That's
Uh-huh.
that's a basic thing a leatherman should have. Of course, leather boots and biker pants, and just like a short like I have on with a tie and maybe with a hat. That's enough for me.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. It happened to me a few years ago. I arrived in London and I went to a club, and so they have different things the night, and I didn't know. I didn't know that, so I just walked in to the club, and the guy said to me, "Hi." I said, "Hi, I'd like to enter. How much is?" He said, he looked at me. He said, "Today it's there's a thing. Today is a leather night. I was like, oh, really? He said, yes. And for you to get in, you need to have a leather, like a piece of leather. And I was
Okay.
like, oh no, I don't have anything. Like I was wearing just a normal shirt, like a trousers. And he said to me, but do you want to go in? I said, yes. He said, okay, I'm going to give you my leather jacket for you to get in. And he gave me for to get in. So I went there, his leather jacket was so nice. And after when I left, I gave it back to him. It was so sweet. Like he literally, and I liked it actually. I put the leather jacket, and I went in. I felt like very confident with the jacket in the club. And in the after I left, he was very sweet. I didn't know it was a leather night. Okay. Last question is, what was the biggest punishment ever received?
Well, a few years ago, I became really sick, and it was really hard, even mentally. And I don't really believe in karma, but that was a point when I thought that now I should rearrange my things, focus on myself more, focus on my loved ones, take one step back, and not to start again my things, but rearrange them and put them on a new track.
Wow, amazing. Right, so the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to say some words, just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Right.
Let's start with money,
Greediness,
fear,
losing control. That's two words.
it's okay, not a problem. Family,
Love,
life,
opportunities,
religion,
boundaries,
sex,
self-expression,
love,
freedom,
politics.
garbage. I'm sorry.
Not right or wrong. Friendship,
Connections,
desire.
I would say freedom again, if I can.
Of course you can, of course. Regret,
Bad decisions.
success,
Like, I would say reward.
okay? One word for wish,
I would say opportunity again.
of course. Happiness,
The first thing I got in my mind was my partner, actually.
oh, that's
If I
right
can
too.
say him.
Of course you can. One word for Budapest,
Sorry?
one word for Budapest.
I would say freedom again.
Wow. One word for Hungary,
Um, I would say prison, but how to express it there?
explain me why.
Well, because, you know, as I mentioned, us LGBTQ people here are not suffering, but many of our rights were taken. But,
See.
and yeah, people could say, why don't you just move from there? And the answer is because I really love my country. I'm really
Course.
proud of my country, my culture, the art, what Hungarians put on the table. On the other hand, we have the politics, what's ruining the whole thing. And it's a really hard decision to stay here or move away from here because, as I mentioned, I love my country. It's my country as well. But from day to day, it's even harder to live here. So that's what I would say. It's like a golden cage here, for me
Wow.
at least.
Wow, well said. Beautiful, David. You said something very powerful, and I totally understand your point. I think at the same time, it's very hard to live in a place where you're not you don't see support from, the government or the politicians. However, you love your country. You want to stay there. You want to stand up
Yes.
for. You wanna, you wanna somehow fight for it. I think it's I totally get your point. Sometimes it's not the point of course, some people decide to leave other, to other places. It's okay. It's not wrong with that as well. I think
Of course,
everyone sees a
yes.
different way. However, if you're very patriotic, you love the place where you live, you love your country, you love your roots, why not? You know what I mean? You just, just always be positive. Things can change. Of course, I totally get your point. And the last one now, one word for leather.
Love.
Of course, of course. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your partner for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, define David in one positive and one negative word only, what he would say about you.
Um, I can cook well, but
Uh-huh.
I'm really messy.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. So if I cook something, it becomes like 5 star, but the kitchen looks like it's just exploded. So, but I always wash the dishes, so
Sweet. Amazing. Let's play now, David, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Before you ask me the question, tell me what's your favorite Hungarian word?
I would say like kikelet,
Which means?
which refers to the really early in the morning when the sun comes up. Because I think that's a really nice period of a day. It's really calm. Everything starts just to wake up. People start to wake up. The nature starts to wake up, and it's a new opportunity for a new day and to become a better person than yesterday.
Say again, kikalet?
Kikelet.
Kikalet. Wow. Okay, you can ask me a question now, David.
Right. What's a significant life lesson you've learned that has impacted the way you live or handle situations?
Beautiful question. Wow, I love it. Wow, beautiful question. You put me in spot now. Right, wow. Okay, I get now. So I left Brazil, David, when I was 19-year-old. I left all the way to Europe. I lived in Portugal a few years before moving to England. And, very young. Oh my God, when I look back, I was like, my God, I was very, very young. And I think something that I've learned with life is, when you are close to your family, when you're close to your friends, like when you grow up, there is always a plan B. Yeah. For example, if
Yes.
something goes wrong, if you lose your job, or if you lose, don't have any more money, something happen, there's always plan B. Somebody's gonna be there for you. However, when you cross the world, like other side of the world, alone, there's no plan B anymore. It was just plan A. So I think life taught me that sometimes, most of the time, you need to count on you. Yeah, of course. Even now, you have friends, I have friends that I can ask anytime for any help. They're gonna be there for me. I know that. However, in the end of the day, sometimes it's up to you, to deal with things, to learn things, to navigate through life, and learning lessons. So I think that's a lesson that I've learned from my life, very early age. Yeah, 19, like that was for me, that was like, it's funny because when I had friends, visiting friends when I was like younger, and I remember the way they look about life. They're talking about their parents, this and that. It's not wrong. It's okay. It's not wrong. It's just different. And I'll think to myself, my God, I never had that. You know what I mean? If I want something, I need to work to get that. I need to organize to pay my rent, to pay my food, everything. And I think so. That's back to your question. I think that was something that I've learned very young age, and I learned living because nobody told me that at the time. Nobody told me, oh, now it's just plan B. There's no plan. Sorry, now it's just plan A. There's no plan B anymore. Nobody told me that. I just learned. Now when I look back, I understand. But at the time, I didn't. So yeah, good question. So that's something that I've learned, and very, very, like, life taught me that. You know what I mean? Nobody told me that. Oh, you're gonna go to Europe, and when you get there, there's no plan B anymore. Nobody told me that. I just realized when I arrived there that I was like, oh my God, I'm running out of money. What am I gonna do now? So I need to do something about it. So That's my answer for you. That's one of the lessons that I've learned very young age for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Even I just moved to another city in my country, but still.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, absolutely. It was really fun. And sorry if I was goofy at some
No,
point.
of course not. Of course not. Thanks again for taking the time for the interview. Thanks for being so open and talking about your memories in life. I think it's great to talk about the situations because we never know who's watching this interview right now. Maybe they are facing a situation that you faced in the past, yeah? And seeing you now, in a better place, having a partner, you are doing your fashion career now, you're kind of doing your things, use your leather. People, they appreciate that as well. It's sometimes just need to go through, navigate through life, and better days will come. So thanks for sharing your memories in life.
Thank you so
Before,
much for the opportunity.
of course, before you go, David, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Well, yes, as I should mention, people should trust and believe in themselves. That's all.
Always, always, always. Perfect. Thanks again. Send my regards to your partner, to your friends and family, and keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay, good night.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
Amazing. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.